Thank you very much for coming to my talk today. I am Shin Adachi with NTT Cert and a business licensed security consultant in Santa Clara, California, the city known for NVIDIA nowadays and other high-tech businesses. I have been a member of program committee of FIRST, or Forum of Incident Response and Security Teams, a global consortium for computer security incident responders. Formerly, I chaired FIRST Education Committee and served as a member of other FIRST committees, as well as Cyber Threat Landscape Working Groups for ENISA, or European Union Agency for Cybersecurity, and others. In short, this is who I am. Today, I am presenting my own personal views and observations only, not any of my affiliations like my employer, customers, associations, or whoever else other than myself. All trademarks and other intellectual properties in my talk are the properties of their respective owners. Now, I am talking about the report released from CSRB, or Cyber Safety Review Board, on April 2nd, 2024, earlier this year. Here are the cover of the report and locations you can get it. I recommend security professionals and decision makers to review this report. But why? This investigation report deals with a real incident with a large scale, which has more details inside a cloud service provider than ever. Details on how different stakeholders responded to this incident, not only victims, but the cloud service provider and government authorities, and filled with valuable lessons for incident responders as well as decision makers, cloud service providers, government officials, and more. I am going through some lessons we could learn this time. However, to be clear, I don't have any conflict of interest with CSRB or any authors of this report. I'm just a reader. Here's the agenda today. Let's start from incident overview. What happened? According to the report, a threat actor compromised Microsoft Exchange online mailboxes, including the ones of US government agencies and 3 think tanks. The compromised mailboxes, including the ones of Commerce Secretary, the top of the US Department of Commerce, US Ambassador to China, Assistant Secretary of State in charge, and a congressman, right before State Secretary Blinken's visit to Beijing in mid-June last year. Other victims include 4 foreign government entities, 3 private sector organizations, and 4 educational entities. In addition, more than 500 individual mailboxes, many of whom are linked to entities associated with Western European, APAC, Latin American, and Middle Eastern countries. This report says the attack was done by Storm 0558, assessed to be affiliated with China for espionage, by authentication tokens signed by a valid Microsoft Services account or MSA signing key, which Microsoft had created back in 2016, 8 years ago from now. This intrusion was detected by State Department SOC first on June 15, 2023, before the cloud service provider. Let's take a look at timeline. According to the report, the whole story started in 2016 when Microsoft issued an MSS signing key, which was used for this attack. In late 2021, the adversary obtained access to a Microsoft engineer's account through a compromised device. 2 years later, on May 15, 2023, first instance of mailbox exfiltration was observed. On June 6, 2023, they accessed Commerce Department mailboxes. On June 15, 2023, a month after the first instance, State Department SOC detected this intrusion, and the whole incident responses started from here. Again, all this happened right before State Secretary Blinken's visit to Beijing from June 18th through 19th, 2023. Let's take a look at how different stakeholders responded to this incident. Today, we will take a look at victims and the cloud service provider. Let's start from the incident responses by victims. As soon as State Department SOC detected the incident on Friday, they contacted Microsoft, the cloud service provider. They confirmed Storm 0558 had gained access to State Department's Outlook web access, and also identified 21 more organizations and more than 500 related users impacted by this attack. The report also says State Department purchased enhanced logging in addition to basic one. Big Yellow Taxi, their own developed tool, analyzed logs and alerted SOC for anomalies. As the report says, just enhanced logging wouldn't help unless they are analyzed. Big Yellow Taxi did it, including most critical log in this incident called Mail Item Accessed Log. CISA assessed the threat actor could not avoid generating this specific log during the intrusion, meaning Big Yellow Taxi analyzed critical log available in enhanced logging. In addition to the tool, as a good practice, SOC investigated the alerts and confirmed malicious activity regardless of false positives from the tool in the past. On the other hand, Commerce Department, another victim of this intrusion, still could not know what exactly happened during the intrusion. Why? Because they didn't have enhanced logging, which included critical mail item accessed log. Microsoft, the cloud service provider, started providing the enhanced log for them after the fact. However, they could not provide historical logs during the intrusion. Why could the State Department SOC detect this incident even before their cloud service provider? This is a table I made from the report, but logs matter. State Department had not only enhanced logging, but also their own tool called Big Yellow Taxi to analyze logs. This means, though, investment matters as well, since State Department spent more on enhanced logging and developing their own tool. Let's take a look at how the cloud service provider responded to this incident. First, let's take a look at the challenges. They could not find the intrusion before the customer, and they could not even make historical enhanced logs available for Commerce Department during the intrusion. What's the root cause of this intrusion? Three significant problems with key management resulted in this intrusion, according to the report. A signing key Microsoft issued in 2016 was used for this intrusion until it was revoked on June 24, 2023, 7 years later, after it was used for the attacks. This signing key was supposed only for consumer Outlook web access, but actually it worked for Enterprise Exchange Online as well. Also, Microsoft did not have automated key rotation system for consumer MSA, and they even stopped whole key rotation, including manual process in 2021. This makes the signing key survive so long. CSRB assessed this key in question could have been used to compromise other Microsoft Cloud applications and even third-party applications relying on Microsoft IDP or identity provider. Remember, this key was supposed to work for consumer OWA only. The report also says Microsoft believed an engineer was compromised who came from the company they acquired. However, they still could not explain how the Storm 0558 had obtained this key. Regardless, we need to be aware that the same or similar compromise could happen to any of us, not only during merger and acquisition, but in our supply chain. There are some good news. Microsoft had incident response and escalation procedures in place, such as preset urgency levels and emergency communications to most senior leadership. They quickly started cross-team coordination to start the investigation as soon as notification from State Department. Let's take a look at unknowns and the implications after the report, before conclusions. There are still unknowns as we discussed. There is no sufficient logs available for Commerce Department to learn what exactly happened during the intrusion before enhanced log was turned on. Also, Microsoft still could not explain how the attacker had obtained the signing key issued in 2016. What are the implications after the report? On July 19, 2024, 3 months after the CSRB report, CISA said Microsoft will provide enhanced logging without additional charge. Yes, the critical log which allowed State Department SOC to detect this incident. On September, Microsoft said they started their Secure Future initiative led by top executives, and security would tied to employees and executives' performance and compensation as well as other major organizational changes. These actions would be the responses to CSRB's strong recommendation that Microsoft needs to change their security culture. Conclusions. What lessons can we learn from this report in terms of incident response? Well, cloud is just someone else's computer, and clouds are not easy outsourcing for quick cost reduction either. We still need to monitor it as a user and respond to the incident. We may still need to develop our own tool when necessary. Logs matter, but do we know what exact log we need in our specific environment? Key management and identity and access management matter. As recommendation and recovery section of the report shows, most remediations are concerned with key revocation, authentication, authorization, and tokens, all of which are critical to key management and identity and access management. Implications after the closed incident. The closed incident could mean the start of something new and bigger for our businesses like CISA's and Microsoft's actions. This can serve as an example of how an incident can impact a CSP across its entire organization after it was closed. Lastly but not least, I recommend to review this report itself to learn more lessons I couldn't present today. If you have any questions, please let me know later. Here are my email, PGP public key, X, and LinkedIn. Thank you very much for listening to my talk today. Have a great day and looking forward to your feedback. Thank you. Thank you very much.